BAM was founded in 2007 by Alison Daly, Jacob Walker, and Daniel Gass. Today, we look at how this firm was started and what makes BAM unlike any other company in the world.
When we started, we wanted to build art, big art. We came to Beijing in 2009, and we had no real clients, no connections, and really almost no money.
We started creating these temporary art installations. We were just trying to do what we could do to affect the people around us, the urban condition.
We started to actually get real projects. Temporary art commissions at first, and those built up into some nice permanent art commissions.
Our art allowed us to test our ideas quickly, and we got to try even crazy, radical ideas. We became obsessed about the details in the construction of our projects.
We were able to test and experiment with these things in this very valuable phase for us. We actually built quite a few of them to teach ourselves and our designers about material and craftsmanship.
Eventually, BAM delivered over 26 art projects in 3 years. Clients sought BAM out for monuments, bridges, and large civic art projects. However, after delivering this massive burst of ideas and building so much art, BAM's founders began to ask themselves a question.
We asked ourselves the question, what is it that we should be designing here? We were making art objects, but we began to see them like we see the city. They're beautiful object buildings, and the architecture is good, but the whole landscape of the city is still a mess.
Beautiful architecture or art pieces are not making a great city. We decided if we're going to help, we need to focus on all the spaces in between.
I think being so familiar with the Chinese culture, yet also being separate from it, allows us to see things that people entrenched in their own cultures are blind to.
This fantasy of architecture, these beautiful towers and skyscrapers, but everything in between that, the landscape is just this kind of expanse that's very underutilized. It's dangerous to cross the road. It's dangerous to walk around in some areas. The architecture gets the focus of designers, but the landscape is seen as low and it's neglected.
Landscape, in its varied forms, supports strong, intelligent, livable cities.
The Chinese cities are very good at mega-scale planning, but at a small scale, it starts to feel like the designers don't care.
Landscape helps create city prosperity. It helps make places where people want to be and where people want to make their futures.
We decided to focus on the landscape, all the public spaces, all the planned roads, all the parks. This is where we wanted to bring our design focus.
In 2012, BAM's founders decided to pivot from art to landscape. With 12 built projects and 20 more on the drawing boards, BAM is now on path to become China's best landscape design studio.
Our office is really unlike any other landscape design studio because we see this open space as we do our art pieces.
What makes us different as a landscape practice is that we give special attention to craft and construction details and know how to build high quality.
We think of the spaces as something that need to be special. It needs to function for all of the ways that people use the spaces. It needs to respond to the culture that we, being foreigners, observe in people's outdoor activities.
How do we create public spaces which are iconic and memorable? How do we create spaces that pull people together today? How do we encourage people to go outside and connect with nature? And as Westerners with the design studio, how do we connect to the strong, vibrant local culture of people's use of parks? We believe that we can build our cities in a way that brings nature deep into the fabric of the city.
We're looking for clients that are interested in exploring the idea that the infrastructure of the city needs to be designed by people that are thinking about the urban landscape.
And they understand that a good open space goes far beyond short-term real estate sales. We're also looking for governments and institutions that understand that infrastructure isn't just about designing for machines and solving that basic requirement. It's first and foremost for the people. Our city will not be remembered for a building or for a road. It's all the spaces in between that are going to create its identity. This is how we will define our culture.